So how can we simplify this code? Well, I believe if we create an order class, we can push some part of this code to that class. For example, we can initialize this date placed field in the constructor of the order. This way, our component doesn't have to worry about getting the current date. So we can simplify this initialization. Also, we can give a shopping cart to our order, and the order itself will be responsible for mapping the shopping cart items into order items. Again, our component doesn't have to worry about this mapping. So back in the models folder, I'm going to add a new file, order.ts. Here we want to export a class called order. I'm using a class because here we need to add some implementation, not just declaration. I would use an interface if we didn't have any implementation here, because interfaces are more lightweight. They're only used by the TypeScript compiler. So when this code is converted to JavaScript, we're not going to have any JavaScript code for our interfaces. Okay? So our order should have a field called date placed. And we can initialize this in the constructor. So constructor, we set it like this. New date dot get time. Also, we can pass the user ID here. So public user ID of type string. We can also give it the shipping information. So public shipping. Like currently, we don't have an interface for our shipping object, but it doesn't really matter as much. We can add that later. And finally, the shopping cart. So public shopping cart of type shopping cart. Now, actually, we don't need to apply the public modifier here because we don't want to store the shopping cart object inside the order. We only want to map its items to order items. So let's delete this. Now I'm going to define a field called items, which is an any array. Again, we can define an interface called order item and annotate this field properly. But let's finish the first refactoring. So I'm going to go back in our component. Instead of creating an order like this, we're going to create it like this. New order. Let's import the type. Now, as the arguments, we need to pass this .user ID, as well as this .shipping, as well as this .cart. This is much simpler, isn't it? So now I'm going to take this code for mapping shopping cart items. I'm going to take this and put it in the constructor of our order class. So back to the order. Let's paste that here. Now we don't need this, and our parameter is called shopping cart. So we map the items and store the result in this .items. Much better. So when we create an order object, our order will be in the right state. Now back to our component. We don't need any of this code. And finally, let's rename X to order. And then we give it to our order service for storage. Once again, let's test the application and make sure our application works after this refactoring. So I'm going to place this order. Now, back in Firebase, we have a new order object. We've got date placed. We've got items, which is an array of 2 items. We've got product. Everything is mapped properly. We've got shipping. Perfect. As well as the user ID. Beautiful. So now we can successfully place an order. In the next lecture, we're going to take the user to the order success page.